Native plants, they've grown and adapted to this region, and what that means, it's not just the weather, the sunlight, the temperatures, but it's the pests, the insects and the bacteria that are native to this region that cause a lot of problems for the non-native plants, such as bluegrass and fescue. So to combat that, people typically put a lot of pesticides and herbicides on the grasses.
Native plants offer variety of environmental and ecological benefits. The primary benefit is they eliminate the lawn, which is an ecological disaster. A lawn is an ecological desert which requires artificial life support. It requires water, pesticides, herbicides, fertilizers. So by getting rid of the lawn, you've already increased the quality of your yard.
Pesticides and herbicides, they naturally release all sorts of different other chemicals such as VOCs and other things, and by not putting those in the environment, you're not causing issues in terms of like ozone releasing and other pollution concerns.
Native plants can actually absorb pollutants from the atmosphere, things like ozone, nitrogen, sulfur oxides, and particulate matter, as well as carbon dioxide. So they can absorb those and actually sequester them in the root masses underground, which is a great benefit.
Native plants compared to fescue lawns and bluegrass lawns can absorb 2 to 3 times of CO2 per year per acre. So overall, the benefits of native grasses and air quality are tremendous.
There's a benefit to the community and ecosystem at large. There's the benefit of water retention. On a natural landscape, the water that falls on the landscape stays on the landscape. The second benefit is the filtration that the natural landscape creates. Water that does percolate through is filtered from all of the sediments and other stuff that exists.
Some of the indirect benefits are that native plants don't need as much maintenance. So we can actually reduce air pollution emissions by having lower maintenance landscapes where we're not mowing, we're not trimming, and we're actually not watering them. Water distribution and treatment actually generates a tremendous amount of pollution because there's a lot of energy that's used in distributing water. So there are tremendous benefits to natives.
Now, when you install the native landscape, you create a benefit for not only yourself, but for the creatures, the birds, the butterflies.
When you have an area where a developer wants to come in and build a neighborhood, if you work with that developer, oftentimes they'll be willing to set aside a part of that land in a conservation easement so that it stays natural, and it's a great amenity to the homes and the people who are going to live in those homes that are going to be built as a part of that development.
The landscape maintenance, people forget that it just becomes kind of a cost of doing business, and they don't realize how expensive it is. We did a study recently on a boulevard in Omaha, Nebraska, where we compared native landscaping, which is medium intensity management, with their traditional mowing and annual maintenance. And it turned out that the native landscape, after it's established, would probably cut their costs and their energy use by at least 2/3, if not more. So that's a really significant savings in energy, in labor, and in manpower. That would be a tremendous benefit and will allow them to take their scarce resources and use them other places that are more beneficial.
Without native plants, we lose that connection to nature. And that connection to nature is so vitally important to how we develop and how we interact with each other and as a community, because these native plants represent our past and they represent our future. And creating that environmental ethic starts with engaging with the simplest of things, which are native plants.